9 minutes after 8 o'clock, I finally figured it out. It's TGIF, January 31, 2025. Last weekend of January. And we're here to kick it off. We're Island T. I got my girl Kay here. What's up?
Good morning, all, but I can hardly hear you.
Really? Okay. How's that? Is that better? Maybe you need to change your headphones.
But I did.
You did?
These two.
Okay, how's that now? Is
Yeah,
that better?
that's a little better.
Well, that's
yeah.
really loud. That's so there's something up with those headphones. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that just might be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning to you. Good morning to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, the regional and international diaspora. Good morning, good morning, good morning for all of those of you tuning in this morning, wherever you are. We appreciate you tuning in. It's la ultimate día de enero. De, ¿cómo se dice? 2025.
My head hurts.
Mm-hmm.
What language is that? Greek?
You got jokes. It's the last day of January, folks. We've all made it. I hope all of us are doing well. And yeah, it's a beautiful day to be alive. And it's Friday. Yeah, it's the end of the work week for most of us here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I say most of us, I exclude myself. I don't know about Jamsta. Oh boy.
I don't know how to answer that.
You don't know how to answer that? Shucks me. Oh boy.
After I finish my tea.
Oh, listen, I wanted to talk about breakfast this morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember growing up, we had 3 square meals, right? It was breakfast, which consisted of, I don't think we ate bread that much. It was either fluffy bakes.
Oh no, bread is a St. Kitts thing.
Soft bakes. But we ate a lot of flour dough. Sada roti, pancakes, sada roti, which is naan, in Indian vibes. Pancakes. Yeah, biscuits with jam or cheese. Yeah. And I was thinking lunch, our mom would cook, it would be rice and something. Like my favorite local Guyanese food would be rice with bora and beef.
What's bora?
It's a long, I think people in St. Kitts call it string beans. It's a long green thing. But that's,
okay.
Bora is the name, B-O-R-A, like Bora Bora. But just one Bora, yeah.
One bora.
And white rice. And then for dinner, we would normally get porridge. It's either sago porridge, barley porridge.
Sago.
Yeah, you know sago?
I know of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the nice little clear thing with the poppy, like it.
It's similar to cassava, right? It's texture-wise?
No, I don't think so, because I never had cassava.
So how that tastes?
Good. It's round white balls, tiny white balls.
Yeah.
Now when they're boiled, they get this gelatin consistency.
Are you sure that's not made from cassava?
I am not
Because
sure.
Because
Sago?
tapioca pudding, right?
Looks something like that.
Yes,
But
and
it's
that's
not-
actually made
it's
from
not
cassava.
that. It's this one's clear.
Is it arrowroot or cassava?
Hold on.
Wait.
No, arrowroot is white. You
Yeah.
know, it gets the consistency of arrowroot, the sago.
Because I know tapioca pudding is made from cassava, if I'm not. So I don't want to sago or sago as I know it. I always thought that was like a form of like something from the cassava family. Oh,
Let me see.
It's a good time to look that up.
No, sago is not from cassava. Sago is made from the pit of the sago plant. Yeah.
And it's clear?
It's
They're
white.
like clear. Oh, okay.
It's white little balls.
So how that porridge
They say
tastes?
sago and tapioca are often confused, but they look
Yes.
similar and have a similar texture. Both are commonly used in Asian desserts, but the sago looks like arrowroot when you put it in room temperature water.
Okay.
Because when you put it in hot water, it comes out. No, when you put in hot water, it comes out to the sago consistency. In room temperature water, it's normally white.
So how's it taste?
Good.
Okay. Porridge. So you do it just
so we have
the way you would do.
porridge and maybe a piece of bread for dinner.
And no tea?
It depends on the
nothing, no.
night, because some nights it might be biscuits and tea as well. So you get biscuit in the morning and you get biscuit at night.
So your parents make the biscuits?
No,
Biscuits as in like what we would buy at KFC, right?
no, not that.
You mean
What are you
the
talking
flat
about?
You
the
mean
salted biscuits, like the biscuits that
like
we get from
crackers?
Goya, the saltines.
Oh, like
In
those?
Guyana, there's
Really?
this place called Triscuit. They make the biscuits and they sell them in box. So my mom would buy the box, and that would last us maybe 2 weeks, and then she goes
Really?
back to the store. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And so what do you guys? That's so you said you have that. So you guys would have that with eggs and so on different times, like.
Not the crackers. No,
No?
eggs were specialty. Eggs were probably Sunday morning only. So I just
Really?
enjoy. Yeah, I just enjoy. Just like how mac pie and fried rice and those food were basically Christmas dishes. So you can't wait till Christmas come to get those dishes because all other days of the year you're eating local. When it's your birthday, you maybe can ask for a Christmas dish and you get it, and then we eat. Or you get roti and curry. That's a big birthday specialty, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. But I miss growing up. It's like we eat the same thing all the time. Like every morning we want to eat eggs, and I was like,
Oh, so we eat the same thing now?
yeah, we eat too
Oh.
much of the same thing now.
So would you say, as a Guyanese, would you say that Kititians, when you came here, your initial impression was that, boy, these people are maybe kind of more Americanized or whatever?
No,
You didn't think so?
I didn't even think
Okay.
about America.
Because some people
I
say
just
that.
think that
Some people say that because, like the way I mean,
Mhm.
I've noticed like I had Guyanese neighbors and
Mhm.
I noticed and people from other islands, and I realized I would notice the stark difference in the breakfast. The breakfast diet is a good way to kind of get an idea of how the cultures differ.
Mhm.
You know,
Because like Jamaicans, I swear Jamaicans eat lunch for breakfast.
yeah,
But that's their thing.
that's the thing. Yeah.
Trinidad too, you might get the bus up shot for breakfast, or you might get your sada roti, aka
Yeah.
as we say naan. But yeah, everybody eats different things for breakfast. Like the other, I was craving Johnny cakes and sawfish, but I wanted my fluffy bakes. I didn't want the Johnny cake. I wanted the
Yeah.
actual.
And then someone
bakes.
said this has happened on more than one occasion. This is the reason I asked you the question.
Mm.
People like to. I've had people say, well, "You guys actually say, well, you guys are so cornflakes and ham and eggs and pancakes and
No, that's a.
people."
Now in Guyana, you get that every
like people
day.
from down the islands or people
Yeah,
from
but in Guyana, that's an everyday thing now.
Whereas-
So I would say
oh, really?
everybody copying the American
Yeah.
culture. Because before, those were special occasion
Whereas-
breakfasts and dishes and food and all of that. No,
my
now
I used
it's
to love
same.
my Guyanese neighbors breakfast when they'd always bring over a plate for me sometimes and oh boy, it's Indians.
Yeah.
I used to love that.
Like I will, I'm
you know.
feeling for some eggplant right now and some sada roti with some shrimp for breakfast. But all I have is some.
Germany's
creamy-
making faces.
Oh, but why is he making faces
with-
over
with-
there?
with
He
the-
knows.
with the,
He
with
knows
the
how it goes.
emoji, with the
Listen.
emoji, like
As an adult, we really don't eat the way we used to eat, man. And cassava bread that's made from cassava. Imagine toasting that on a pan with some butter. Jermaine, are you listening? Can you feel your taste bud
Sure.
salivating like mine? I long for some GT
so.
food.
So
but-
you all eat beef?
Huh?
A lot? Eat.
Salt beef and regular beef.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can actually go in Guyana. I hated the smell, right?
Mhm.
But in the big Stabrook market, there's a meat section. My God. People butcher all the time and you can buy fresh meat all the time. I enjoy the salt. The only thing I didn't like was tripe. I don't like tripe until now. But that does well in the, and this is a next tradition in Ghana, Old Year's Night, you cook up. So anybody
Okay.
comes by,
With
they
pork
get
too?
cook
With
up.
pig snouts and so on?
I
No,
don't think so.
not like ours.
No, that's
So
not
who?
our culture.
So whose cook up do you prefer? Don't lie now.
GT.
Okay.
Because cook up has in coconut milk and sorry, Kititians don't put coconut milk in their coconut.
Mm.
That's what I'm accustomed to. And we never used to have sawfish and all these things. We're accustomed to maybe chicken and
Why?
saw beef and something else. We don't put pork in.
I
our
mean,
coconut milk.
I would be considered a culinary heretic then, because I would do our dishes and do things that people would normally do.
Mhm.
So now you're giving me ideas. I
Mhm.
should tell that guy who I get cook up from. I said, have you ever thought of putting coconut milk in the cook
Yeah,
up?
cook up.
you know.
Yeah, that's cook up rice.
'Cause I
Just
use
like how
coconut milk.
Jamaicans say coconut rice.
Mhm.
Ours is just cook up. We have our chicken or saw beef, whatever else we put in there. We never used to put, I don't ever remember coming up as a child having sawfish in cook up. I got accustomed to that here.
Hey, hi
Good
Ray.
morning.
Hi Ray, been clear.
I am not greedy. I like to share.
How are you?
But just I'm good. When we were growing up, breakfast for us in the Caribbean when I was a kid was either some porridge, maybe egg and bread, peanut butter and bread,
Yep.
Johnny cake with probably a piece of sardine or just a plain Johnny cake just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or some what we call fritters. That was our breakfast.
Nothing fancy, right? To me, ham and those things were
No,
reserved for Christmas and stuff, innit?
Exactly. What we used to have is the sausage.
The
What
sauce,
you,
yeah.
what you mean, the Thai town?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my-
that one.
Oh, the salami.
Cleo, I don't like that thing at all. I remember when I first moved here and I bought it in school because I saw people eating it. We used to have a canteen, and oh my God, that thing went under my tongue and I just felt terrible.
They used to have it in the canteen?
Yeah,
Here?
yeah.
I can remember, right?
Back and neck and all kind of thing.
The first time I went back
I love
to
back
St.
in it.
Kitts, right? I went to the market and they had a hamburger. This is down in the market. So I asked them, please send me a hamburger. Do you know what I got? Ham, little ham.
You see?
Little hamburger.
No hamburger here. See, you went away and then you came back and you brought back your culture and then you tell us we blame everything on over there. In it. You see? We have to blame over there.
I got little ham in a bottle.
Are you serious? Cleo is making this up.
I put my hands up. I am not lying. It was in the market.
Well, you got a hamburger.
I went
It's a
out-
ham and a bread.
They didn't even say ham sandwich, huh?
No, I did not say ham sandwich. I asked for a hamburger. And that's what I got.
Yeah, but breakfast. And I remember.
I got,
Okay, no problem. You were saying something?
No. Oh, do you know one of the person that passed away in the plane that they have connection to say
Yeah.
his father is a doctor, was a doctor.
Yeah,
His
Duggins from
son
Sandy Point. So, yeah, I said I was going to mention
Yeah.
that eventually, yes. She has connections, but
died.
she's
All
in
right,
my
all
team.
right.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
caller. Yeah,
All right.
Duggins. So to all the Duggins family, I know everybody's related. Once you have a particular last name in St. Kitts, you are related, whether you want to believe it or not.
Duggins from Sandy Point.
Yeah.
I said the person's a doctor. That's
Let
what
me
I said?
send you.
Oh, wow.
He has doctor at the front of his name.
I just hope it's not anybody I know.
Yeah, she's well accomplished though. I think she's
Oh, is it
graduated
she?
from Harvard. The person that that tragically lost their life. She's quite accomplished already. I'm sending it right now.
Wow. I wonder if she was a doctor with the.
It said the first confirmed victim from from Wichita in last night's plane crash in D.C. has been identified as a young civil rights attorney who graduated from prestigious Harvard University and a former Miss Kansas contestant, Kaya Duggins, who was the daughter of Dr. Maurice Duggins, who lives in Wichita, but originally from Sandy Point, St. Kitts. So our sincerest condolences to the doctor and the rest of the family here on St. Kitts and in the U.S. And may her soul rest in peace.
Wow.
As it says, such a beautiful and intelligent soul. And yes, I can certainly attest to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, our condolences, like Kay said, to the family.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's.
Yeah.
You never know when fate is gonna reach out and connect you to horrors like this, huh?
Yep.
You don't. I mean, I was thinking the chances of anyone connected St. Kitts Nevis would have been on that plane, you know.
You never know.
Yeah.
You can never know.
And you know the conspiracy theorists. Some people were saying, "Oh, it has had to be deliberate." I don't know how people arrive at these ideas. You know,
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Mr. Trump had to, put his foot in his mouth yesterday, accusing the Biden government and the Biden administration
And diversity too?
and diversity and
You
all
mean
this.
nobody else of color has gotten into an aircraft accident?
Yeah, I mean, anyway, he kind of backpedaled after a while after
He
he
needs to
realized.
stop backpedaling. He needs to before he comes out
mean-
and say things.
I mean, you couldn't
Be mindful.
Yeah, you couldn't just send some condolences and just let the NTSB and the FAA do their work. I mean, come on, man.
No, he has to
No.
do some work too and blame somebody. Oh, and on that note, happy birthday to our very own Dr. Osborne and also to my sister. I hope you ladies will celebrate and enjoy your day, eat plenty cake, and Doc, take one alcoholic drink. And when you do that, or have one alcoholic drink, and when you do that, just remember your favorite friend. She's gonna get me. Happy birthday, Dr. Osborne. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, Virtuous Gemini said, town people don't put saltfish in cook up. Country people do. Really? Is it different? I don't really think
What?
that.
What? For real?
I don't know. What,
So
what does
town
that
people
even
don't
mean?
put. But what? The person said town people don't put. That's not true. Because the cook up that's sold in town, you either see sawfish with pork or just sawfish.
Or salt beef sometimes.
Oh, I didn't even know salt beef existed around these parts.
Yeah, of course.
I would love to get me some salt beef, like natural salt beef, or is this
Curry.
imported salt beef?
Imported. But
Nah.
there are people who do it themselves. They do the corned beef themselves. Like they
Yeah,
salt it
I know the whole
and do all
process.
that.
Because remember, before then we didn't have refrigerators,
Mhm.
so everybody was corning everything
Yeah.
to keep them
Yeah.
longer,
Yeah.
right? We survived. Why all of
Yeah.
a sudden now our refrigerator break down? It's
Yeah.
just- we can't
It's
survive.
true. It's true.
Wow.
I actually prefer. Well, I thought that when the hams were frozen, it meant that they weren't like cured the same way, but apparently that doesn't.
But don't they cure them first?
Because they have the
and
smoked
then-
ones, and I wonder which ones are healthier to eat.
Hmm.
I mean, not that their ham is inherently unhealthy, but
Mhm.
I always thought the frozen ones were, But yeah, I've seen my mother do the salt pork thing, and with beef, and yeah. And just because just because it had a different taste, not even about the fridge or anything, it was. So she put the beef on. So I'm like, well, I didn't understand why. I only found out later on that was the reason people did it. But
Oh, you mean to keep it?
yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was about taste or whatever. But yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah. So
I have one more thing though.
mhm.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. How untrue is that statement?
Did you? Well, it could be true in some cases. Sometimes it
Words
is.
always cut.
True.
We always say your words cut deeper than a knife. So how is that even a thing?
Well, there's some people who it doesn't bother them. you know.
Really? You really think as human beings, people saying something bad about us, at one point or the other, it would not affect how we feel about ourselves or think about ourselves?
I agree with you. Even I mean, you must feel something, but yeah, it's one thing to say never, but I think I would want to think all human beings
Mm-hmm.
they have some kind of emotional reaction to things said, but some people might be better at clamping down on it and turning it off than others. But so yeah, I agree with you.
Because you don't have to suck it up, but what they say just might bother you as a person, or what you say to somebody, because the harm you cause to someone by saying something to them that you think afterwards, boy, I should not have said that,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even. That's not even a true statement or a true phrase or whatever it is or a true
Sticks
saying.
and stones. So we no quiz today. I actually thought that was.
Yeah, I
Oh,
have
we have a
something for
quiz.
you.
Okay.
Is you ready?
If I'm
Are
ready.
you ready? Folks,
Yeah.
I do speak proper English, but you know it's Friday. We have to
Okay.
relax. You know, we have to relax. We can't be proper every day. So I know it is Are you ready? Okay? Just in case somebody might say,
Okay.
I'm off.
So we'll take a break first. It's
Uh-huh.
8:30, and hear from the money providers,
Okay.
and then come back.
Alrighty.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, we're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
You can win more with the Mega Ball. Pick 3 and pick 4, you could get it all.
Yes, playing Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery just got more rewarding. For just an extra $1, increase your winnings by $1,000 with Pick 3 and $10,000 with Pick 4 when you play the Mega Ball.
You ready to win a little extra? You ready to win a little extra? You ready to win a little extra? Then get on the ball.
Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with Mega Ball at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 and over to play.
Who's there?
It's me!
Your future is knocking. Open the door to home ownership with the CIBC Caribbean Realtors Hub. Get pre-qualified for a mortgage, discover everything you need to know about buying a home, and connect with trusted realtors. Enjoy up to 95% financing, up to 35 years to repay, plus a pre-approved Visa Gold or Platinum credit card with 5,000 bonus points. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/Realtors Hub to get started today.
And we are back. It's 8:32. Island T continues saying special good morning to all the folks who hold us down. Yeah. So, let me see. I see Rusty here holding. What's going on? Is this his birthday?
Oh, happy birthday, Rusty. When last you heard from Rusty, man?
I haven't heard from him in a while.
Oh, boy. Rusty, we miss you.
I don't know what I did.
You don't know what you did?
I don't know what I did.
Rusty,
no.
what the Jamsta do?
Jermaine says, I am offended.
What?
When he says, I eat lunch for breakfast. He says, I'm having chicken wings with oatmeal. What? And bread for breakfast. Chicken wings with?
Time bad.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
Because remember the chicken wings and waffles, that could be for breakfast. But you know, next thing what we eat in Ghana for breakfast that people might consider lunch, like what the Jamaicans do, we boil provisions, and especially if we have leftover provisions, we do this with cassava, we do this with plantain, we fry it up with garlic and other seasonings, and then we eat that with a boiled egg, and that's called boil and fry. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Jermaine wants to hook up with us to talk about, to give us some exclusives.
Okay.
Okay. So
What time he wants to
he's
do
gonna
now?
do that now. So, but we can chat in the meantime until he has to send the link. Okay. Let me get this. So I got this, and in the meantime, maybe you can give me. Hey, maybe you can toss me a quiz question in the meantime.
Trying to.
Wait on Jermaine to send the link.
Okay.
Yeah. He said he had some exclusives for us.
He's still not back.
He's back and he went again.
Oh wow. I want to be like Jermaine when I grow up.
Okay, so.
When you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So for those of you who want to participate, you can participate until Jermaine calls in. It's our quiz time. You know, Friday is the laid back day of the week. Yeah. So which country has the highest concentration of churches in the world?
I think I know that one.
Okay, I'm waiting for the answer.
Jamaica?
Yeah, how did you know?
I think I knew that.
But I never knew that.
Doesn't seem to help them very much, does it?
Oh my God.
I'm just
Could
saying.
you behave? Which Caribbean island is home to the shortest runway in the world? Caribbean island is home to the shortest runway in the world.
Statia?
No.
Sabre?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I knew it was one of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
400 meters long, huh?
Wow.
They said Jamaican runner Usain Bolt could run the length of it in under 50 seconds.
And then fall into the sea and drown, right?
It's not that bad. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait, I had this one. Which Caribbean island is home to the smallest shared landmass in the world?
The shared landmass? A shared land. Oh, that would be St. Martin? Okay.
So at 87 square kilometers, the island of St. Martin is the smallest inhabited island, and this is the one with the double AR. Is the smallest inhabited island on Earth, shared by two nations. The northern half, officially, the French-run collective of Saint Martin, and the southern half, St. Martin, is one of 4 countries forming the Kingdom of the Netherlands. This tiny island can be found 190 miles east of Puerto Rico. Okay.
Okay, well, let me ask you one now. I think I would be right to this one. Which is the largest landmass in the Caribbean, hosting two countries? Okay. All right. Good. Very good. Very good. Very
Santo
good.
Domingo.
Very good.
Haiti.
Very good.
So, this one, I don't think real life pirates of this particular Caribbean islands could become governors.
Real life pirates could become governors? Bermuda?
No.
Real life, that sounds like a riddle type question. Real life pirates. So, in other words, this is a place where a pirate became a governor. Interesting. Is that Jamaica?
Okay. You know these answers. You know.
No, just that one was deduction actually.
Can you see on my phone?
No, I can't. No, I can't. That one was deduction.
Making me cough.
It reminded me of something I remember. I remember I had a vague recollection of something.
Okay, this island is the biggest island in the Caribbean. And don't come and tell me no Hispaniola, or else I get you.
Oh, Cuba.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Hispaniola is small compared to Cuba.
Okay, which Caribbean island has a boiling lake?
You told me this before, you know.
I did? No,
Yeah,
I didn't. We talk about a drive-in volcano.
Oh, a drive-in
Don't
volcano.
get it mixed up, kind sir.
A boiling lake. Is that Dominica?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Does Dominica also have 365 rivers or 365 beaches?
365 rivers.
You say that with confidence.
Yeah. Everyone knows that one. We learned that one in primary school.
Okay. This one is too easy for you, you know. But
You know,
I just wanted people to learn about the Caribbean.
I'm being a little facetious here, right? But with Antigua and those 365 beaches, tell me if I'm tell me if I'm right with this. I want to believe, knowing them, try to get to the 365 number, right? I'm sure some of those beaches are like 12 feet long or something. Because you know how sometimes you can have like a little cove and it might just happen to be maybe 20 feet, 30 feet, that kind of thing. Okay, yes, that's the beach. Okay, let's move on. Next one. I'm betting some of those beaches are not.
But you
that
know,
long.
most of them aren't accessible by foot, though.
There you go. Exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking too. Yeah. So
So most of them, when I did the circumnavigation of Antigua, that's when most
Yeah.
of them were pointed out to us.
yeah,
Excuse
I'm
me.
sure some of them is like blink and you miss them, right?
No, not
No?
really. No.
Okay.
Decent size. Yeah.
Okay, but I figured most of them were inaccessible.
And Antigua also has this thing. Well, it's a mountain formation called the Sleeping Indian. You look at
Oh.
it, you literally see the nose, you see the mouth, you see the eyes. It's a llama. Once you look at it, and to me, people that have, I would say that likes cartoons, you see it faster, or watch a lot of cartoons, you see it faster than the average person. Because once it was pointed out to me, I'd be like, oh my God.
Do you know there's a clinical, not that it, there's a term for that,
What?
where you can look at a random object and appear, and it looks like something. It looks like some kind of coherent image or feature. Like, for example, you know how sometimes you look at clouds in the sky.
Yeah, and you see dinosaurs and all kinds
Yeah, it's that. It's called pareidolia.
What?
Pareidolia.
Nolia?
Pareidolia.
Pareidolia. It also sounds like they're telling you you're para.
But you could argue no, because it's PAREIDOLIA. So it's not paradol.
You see?
It's not
Mad people
para.
syndrome.
It's
Well,
not
mental
pareidolia.
people syndrome. Yo, listen. I'm glad that we changed a lot of our words because, boy, I remember growing up, this lady in our village, they would call her Mad Zelma. And I mean, this is mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I learned all those things because, Lord, we took. Listen, anyways, you live, you learn, you get wiser, you don't do it again. Yep. Which Caribbean island has the largest natural deposit of asphalt in the world?
In the Caribbean, right?
Yeah, we're keeping the Caribbean. So I said,
Um,
which Caribbean island?
Trinidad, of course.
Yeah, we're learning. You know, we're learning. Somebody's gonna learn this today. Somebody can share it with their children. You never know. Homework might come home.
I always never liked, when I was a kid, right? They always gave us the impression that Jamaica and Guyana and Trinidad were the only places that had bauxite and
Gold,
asphalt. Yeah.
So where else have you found out that have asphalt?
A lot of places. Australia, Russia, Ukraine.
Caribbean.
Oh no! Well, I mean,
Oh,
they
you mean
they made
you're
us
going worldwide.
feel like no other places have
Okay.
bauxite.
But you see, we
I
were just teaching
distinctly-
about our
I
Caribbean.
distinctly remember that.
Of course, those places over there have all their things.
But Trinidad really does have. I think they may have asphalt. No, I shouldn't call it asphalt. Bitumen. What's the other name they call it? The tar. Yeah.
Tar, yeah.
I know there are other places you can get it.
Asphalt, tar,
yeah.
straight tar.
Tar.
What did English sailors use to help them to reach the Caribbean?
What did they use?
I'm being too vague. Okay. I didn't want to give it away to you. Okay. What cooking ingredient did English sailors use to help them to reach the Caribbean?
What cooking ingredient?
Yes. I can't break it down any further because you're going to get it
How
right away.
How could you?
You are a
use-
chef. You never heard of this?
I mean, what are they? They're using pot spoons as oars? What is this?
How far are they going to get with that?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. What you're asking
Oh,
me?
boy. I said cooking ingredient. I never said a utensil you use in
yeah,
cooking.
True. You did say that. Okay. Let me see. Maybe pot spoons with porridge
Oh,
smeared in
my
it?
God.
I don't know.
I
Hey.
did not ask for the utensil, kind sir.
Well, there's porridge in it.
For all listeners that are listening, if you know the answer, please help Jamsta out. Jamsta, I only learned this last night too when I was
Really?
going through to find quiz questions.
Is it salt?
No. To find the Caribbean?
What
give up?
cooking? Wait.
You want a little?
Wait,
You want a
wait,
little clue?
wait. No, wait. No.
Don't go Google anything over there, no.
Is it limes?
No. What were they gonna make? Lemonade to keep themselves cool,
Well, I
so
know.
they don't dehydrate on their voyage here.
Oh, I don't know if you know that they used to stock up on limes and lemons because sometimes on those long voyages back then, the sailors could fall prey to scurvy, which is vitamin C deficiency. So that's what I was thinking. So they would they would ration out
Yeah,
limes.
I've heard
and
the
so on.
scurvy
Yeah,
story.
mhm. So I give up. I don't know. What
See?
that is. Mhm.
Even Gwyneth says give a clue. Give a clue. It is a dairy cooking ingredient.
What?
Yes. It has dairy properties.
Cheese?
No.
But what could that possibly be? Eggs?
No.
Well, eggs are not dairy, really, but they keep them in the dairy section, but they're not really dairy.
English sailors use butter to help them reach the Caribbean. An old nautical rule of thumb for navigating to the West Indies from England was head south until the butter melts, then turn right. So it turns out butter isn't just for toast. It's also an ancient form of GPS.
Are you serious?
Very serious. That's what they say.
Oh, I never knew that. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Must have taken a lot of trial and error and getting lost before that.
Oh boy.
Before
With
that.
the butter?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So that's that one. I have, because I don't think you're gonna get this one right, you know. But I don't want to doubt you because you are so smart.
No, I'm not.
You are so
I'm not as smart as Jermaine.
Uh-huh.
Now, Jermaine,
Jermaine's ready for us?
give Jermaine the next one. Jermaine, give him first dibs on the next one.
I had it here, but now I can't find it. The devil is a liar. I know I took a picture of it because I didn't want to forget it. Oh boy. And it has something to do with that. Hold on. Oh, Jamsa, I sent something in the chat before we continue the quiz where it says, stay in the know. Oh gosh. Stay in the know.
Jermaine's face looks very well fed. I mean, those wings really hit the spot, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. For some. Oh shucks. I just had it.
Morning, Jamsta. Morning, Kortensia.
Morning, how are
Morning,
you?
St. Kitts and Nevis. So, okay, I need to be professional. I'm well.
You are professional.
Of course, you just had wings and oatmeal for breakfast.
And bread.
And bread.
That's 2 starches.
No
Jermaine.
coffee? No
you gotta
coffee?
You gotta work out hard when you get
I
back.
don't drink coffee, Jamsta.
You don't drink coffee. It's half your life gone. Okay.
Well, I would have to agree with that, but I don't drink coffee. I was warned many years ago not to drink it. I was banned, and then when I got back from it, I got back onto it. Coffee does not kick in until 2-3 days later. So
What?
Yeah.
Who's giving you these
Bad advice.
propaganda? It's like, I mean, anti-coffee
Jamsta?
propaganda.
it's our good friend who makes coffee for us, whose name we will not call, upstairs. Whose name we will not call, our good friend.
Oh, you mean Sharon?
I'm gonna
Our
deal with
producer,
her.
yes.
I'm gonna deal with her.
She's gonna get you. Oh my god.
Terrible.
I will not be thwarted in calling names, Kortensia.
Well, you answered. I call her name. So you're in trouble.
No more questions?
No, but I thought Jermaine.
No, go ahead. No, give
Okay.
one, and then yeah, we can do that afterwards.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right, so hold up. What is the principal language of the Caribbean?
Numerically?
What is the principal?
African.
Lord Jesus help. Both of you need licks.
Well, no, I mean, I'm asking numerically because technically you can argue.
What is the principal language
You
of
could
the
argue
Caribbean?
it's English.
Exactly.
But numerically, it would be Spanish.
Why?
Seriously.
How?
The Dominican Republic has a whole bunch of millions of people, way more than the whole English-speaking Caribbean.
Yeah,
So
but I'm sure some of those same persons speak English as a second language as well.
sure, but yeah, but Jordan, you see my point, all right?
Yes, I do.
Because let me ask you this question: which is the most popular language the most popular planetary language?
The most popular planetary language?
Mm-hmm.
French?
No, English.
See, I should have stuck to
But
my English.
but numerically,
I don't understand why I got
but
you-
but
made you
yeah,
me
but
think it's a trick question.
numerically, which language is most spoken?
English.
Mandarin.
What?
And then Spanish.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, no, I think Spanish might be third. No, but you see what I mean, though. If you look at dealing raw numbers, I mean, English clearly is more because you can.
Everybody is required. If
Yeah,
you're a pilot,
exactly.
you're required. If you speak a next language, your next language must be English. You're required
True.
to speak
Exactly.
English.
Yeah. No one's asking for Mandarin, right?
Or nothing else. You can
Exactly.
have your Mandarin, but yeah, it's English. Which Caribbean country won the most medals for boxing in the 1992 Olympic Games?
Cuba.
Look at Jermaine. Jermaine, I hope you're not cheating, Which
No.
Caribbean island groups contain St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Martinique?
That would be the Windward Islands.
Ooh, look at you being a smarty pants.
Yes, I feel smart this morning. It's the oatmeal.
And the chicken. Aha. Which religious cult is linked with the reggae music? Lyric. Hey, we're going to.
You mean Rastafarianism, but as Eli would say, don't say Rastafarian, say Rastafari.
Okay, go ahead. So you're on the.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Complete the famous song lyric. Here we go. Hey, we're going to. I don't even know that song lyric either.
No, I don't know that.
We're going to Barbados. You ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. What is the maximum length a banana can grow?
I think that could be anything, right?
Jermaine, are you still there?
That one I can't answer.
Technically.
It's on top of my head, but it's not coming up.
That would be pretty big because a plantain is a banana. So I would say.
It's a 1 foot.
Okay. So, okay.
This one too easy. I can't ask either of you that. I can't even ask either of you this one either. Which Cuban leader led his country into communism?
Yeah, that one is too easy.
Too easy, yeah.
Yes.
Jamster?
Um,
You should see Jamster face over here.
Generalissimo Franco?
No.
I'm joking. Castro, of course.
I know you know it, Okay. The ping pong and the second pan are types of what?
Steel pan.
Huh?
Steel pan.
No. You have to say something else.
Say that again. The question.
The ping pong and the second pan are types of what?
Steel drums.
Thank you, Jermaine. That's it. What color are pineapple flowers? I never even know pineapple flowers have colors. Yo, we're learning plenty in these quizzes here.
I think they're yellow or orange.
Jermaine, what say it you?
I say green.
Boy? Off. Purple.
Purple?
Yeah. I never
Okay.
even... What? They mean the actual pineapple that...
Yeah, that goes.
I never saw them with flowers, though. So
Yeah,
that mean
so-
I have to take a closer
Yes,
look?
you're correct. You're correct.
Yeah, clearly I never.
I
yeah.
never realized that. I'm learning that today, years old. What is the principal motif of the Jamaican flag?
Well, the multi. Oh, you mean colors or? Well, it's
No color.
well, I could
I
tell
think
you this.
this
I don't
goes
know.
to the design.
Okay, I don't know if you're gonna take this, but I found out a few months ago that it's actually based on the English flag. They just change the colors with with the cross and
Okay,
the
so
red,
it's the yellow
red,
cross.
green, yeah,
It's the yellow cross. It's nothing else.
yeah.
No, this one too easy for y'all. All these too easy for y'all. Oh my gosh. Name a Caribbean island beginning with P.
A Caribbean island beginning with P.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good one. Petit Martinique.
Chicken and oatmeal or chicken and
You didn't say whether I was right or wrong.
no. That's why I
I
asked
was,
chicken.
Sorry, I
Jermaine?
was going to say Pineapple Island, but go ahead.
Oh my God, it's Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah, true.
And if Jermaine gets this wrong, I'm going to whip
But
him. You know?
I'm not wrong though with the Petit Martinique.
No, they don't want that. Petit Martinique is,
It's an island.
but it's
that's
that's not what they're looking for.
Yeah, it's very
It's too-
disrespectful.
it's too small.
That's like if that's
No,
like
but
if,
Jamsta, that wouldn't be fair because Petit Martinique is part of Grenada.
yeah, but it's still but still it's an island.
Yeah, but it's not officially registered because it's like you're
I
saying
guess.
Exuma or NASA is an island by itself.
By itself and not part of the Bahamas,
you could
right?
you could also argue that Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. So
Oh my
why?
God.
No, I mean no,
But
I
it's
mean
an independent.
it's not it's not
somewhat of-
but it's not.
a semi-independent country that's governed by the United States.
I guess I'm gonna lose this one.
So Jermaine, you can't get this one wrong, okay? Which great West Indian batsman, so it's more than one, played cricket for Somerset in the 1980s?
Germany's gonna get that one. I don't know anything about that.
I've not had my coffee yet for the morning.
Oh boy, and he don't drink coffee.
Nice dodge.
Jermaine, I had hopes in you. Joel Gardner and Viv Richards.
Ghana, that would be Ghana though. They have it wrong. They have Gardner.
No, Garner.
Ghana.
Garner.
Okay, German. Let's take a break, and I'll let you give us your immigration exclusive
Yup.
from You ready?
To Jermaine?
We're taking a break, Jamster. We have to pay some bills and then we'll return.
You want to take a break? Well, we have 3 minutes, but okay. According to us, me here, I have 3 minutes, but okay. So let's take the break then.
All right.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
And we are back. We got Jermaine on the phone line. It's at 8:58. Jermaine, go ahead. Someone is saying, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just
yes.
gonna say, Burl is saying, of course, this is something we spoke about yesterday, but it was said. He said it was said last night on another program that 68 persons from the Federation are on Trump's deportation list. So
That list was never Trump's list. That list was there before Trump.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we this is more specifically geared towards the bodies of the migrants who were found. It's a really sad situation that this happened. But I've made contact with my sources in Mali surrounding this discovery, and I must say, everyone in Mali at this point in time are oblivious to the fact that um, 19 bodies were discovered in St. Kitts and Nevis. That's first. No one is aware of the fact that this actually transpired. Even the media colleagues in Mali are unaware that 19 bodies, 19 decomposing bodies, were found in the Caribbean. Um, Alarmingly, it what we gathered from the discussions yesterday was the fact that Mali has been a pathway for illegal migration out of Western Africa. So it was no surprise that this discovery happened. What is alarming from what my sources said to me is that it appears as though the migrants were not necessarily destined for the Caribbean,
Exactly.
but it appears as though they may have encountered either engine trouble or the conditions were so treacherous that um, they washed ashore in St. Kitts and Nevis. So they washed across the Atlantic, hence the badly decomposed nature um, of the bodies that were found. Additionally, it was revealed that many of these migrants spent upwards of, and this again is based on country specific, they spent upwards of 2 to 10 to 20 million francs. I think they say it is Mali francs or something like that. Together, it might sound like a little to many of us when we do the conversion in terms of US dollars, but for individual countries, you have to understand and put it into context that they specifically, for them specifically, this is a lot of money. So for us, you might say, hey, we spend 10,000 EC dollars, and that might be 3,000 US dollars, and that might not sound like a lot. But for those people in that particular environment, it is a lot of money. The source also indicated that we were lucky to actually find we were actually lucky to find identification on the individuals in that specific boat, because most Malians do not necessarily have proper identifications because of the nature of the country, and because it's landlocked and it has deserts and so forth. It's very difficult for a lot of them to get identification. Most times it's paper identification. We did not get the full context in terms of what type of identification was found by the police, right? So the source was saying, hey, this is actually, you guys were actually lucky to find that, because many people would have left, and the government and a lot of the people in the country are not aware of who these people are. So you might find a body, like for example, this is the second instance that a body washed ashore in bodies washed ashore in a vessel in the Caribbean. On Saturday, we had the one in Trinidad and Tobago where 5 badly decomposing bodies were found over there. Right. So, and also what the source noted, because Mali is a pathway, you have people coming from Ivory Coast, Guinea, Gambia, and so forth, and that could be the potential that some of them are also from these other countries. And so yes, so that is some of the sort of things that we've been finding out in terms of information that we are hearing coming out of Mali. So we are lucky to actually be able to identify these people who are, well, at least know the source country that some of them are from. I'll have more of this information in the news, hopefully by midday newscast, for the midday newscast, but definitely tonight. That it's really a problem, a pervasive problem in Western Africa, where we've been seeing migrants from time to time leaving, trying to be make it through the perilous, treacherous waters to get to Europe, more specifically France, because they're French speaking. and for a better life, right? We know what happens in certain other parts of Africa, but what the source did indicate to me, the type of vessel that was used was not one to indicate that even if they were trying to get to the United States, that the type of vessel it is not type that they would use for such long journeys over to the United States. So it was shocking that these people specifically washed ashore in St. Kitts and Nevis, and especially taking into consideration the geography of where Mali is located, that they would actually seek to do that and come to the Caribbean region. So it was shocking that these bodies washed ashore, which leaves more questions as to the potential location of where they were headed. One thing I must note is that because of the state of decomposition, it indicates that they were probably on the sea for at least a week or two, which would probably indicate that they were caught up. And this is just me here, Jamsta, saying that there was when the United States had this blizzard conditions that were in Europe, there was a high pressure system or something of that nature. My geography, my weather this morning is off, and it sent strong winds to Europe. So we don't know if they were caught up in that while they were heading up to Europe. And the UK was lashed. A lot of other countries were lashed with these high winds, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour winds, hurricane type winds. So we don't know if they were caught up in that specifically, and that killed them, they drowned. We don't know yet, and if that was a something that impacted their journeys, and then they just float across the Atlantic.
There was a question I wanted to ask. You kind of alluded to it a few minutes ago. Is it possible that we may be assuming all of them are from Mali simply because we found that one ID? It's possible that some of them, or even one, just one, could have been.
Some are from Mauritius too.
What the police
Mauritius
made, what the police made note of, and they were very specific. They said in the press release that the ID suggests that some are from Mali, right?
Yes.
At the very least, yes.
Like I said, yeah. So, like my source indicated to me, is that even though Mali is a pathway out, you have people from Gambia, Guinea, Ivory Coast, and some of these other countries actually traveling through Mali, trying to bear the conditions. You have to cross mountains, you have to cross the deserts. You have to bear all these conditions, and that is a pathway for them to get out. So Mali is actually, and my source has been doing some work on illegal migration, right? And this is what they've been seeing for quite some time happening, and they spend upwards of $20 million or so to be able to be transported to Europe through these illegal channels.
And you know what the sad thing is for me is it's that it's ironic and sad that Mali, as you know, Mali was such a great nation, in, let's say, pre-European contact times, and this is what they're reduced to. I mean, Mali was a great place of learning. Greeks and so on used to travel there to.
Yeah, but I think also, Jam, so what we have to do is contextualize the fact that a lot of these places are large, and they are also going through political turmoil. Right. So a lot of these locations also deal with tribes. We still have the tribal culture in some of these African countries. So, and that's why the source went through great lengths to highlight that not a lot of people have IDs, because some of them are in outskirt locations, right? So the government specifically would not necessarily be aware of what is actually happening.
Or that people even left the country.
So you can't, so you can't necessarily identify a lot of them because some of them don't have IDs. because of the way in which Africa is still at this point in time. I mean, a lot of these countries are really, really beautiful based on photos and videos that you've been seeing. But when you dive deeper into the economic positions and the way in which a lot of these countries are, a lot of them have remote locations where, you know, the remains the same from the 1800s or the 1700s, right? So that is the sort of thing that has been challenging a lot of these African countries, and then you still have a lot of dictators in those countries. So these are the things that are impacting and pushing and driving a lot of people out of Africa at this point in time. So, and I still have this saying that the slavery days also took a lot of resources out of Africa, so they've not fully developed. So all of that is playing into what we're seeing at this stage. Um, so yeah, it's very interesting that this is what we're hearing.
Yeah, it's so sad. There's some kind of matching procession passing. I don't know if you can hear it.
But Jermaine,
Yeah, I can hear it.
I'm looking at some articles here, and I see in 2021 in Grenada they had a boat adrift too. In Tobago in 2021 July 13th they had a boat adrift. So Tobago was July 13th, Grenada was December 22nd, both in 2021, and then in April on April the 12th, 2023, there was one in Tobago. And then in April again of last year, there was a boat with 20 persons, the same make, everything, adrift in, what do you call it, Brazil. And once again, almost all the time, everybody is dead.
Yes,
Wow.
so that underscores the fact that this
Mm.
is what we've been seeing, right? The it's a growing trend. And let's be frank, right? A lot of what we see happening is, well, let me put it this way: the Caribbean Sea is much more settled than the Atlantic,
Mm-hmm.
right? And because of that, a lot of the vessels that are leaving Africa have to traverse through the Atlantic. And let's be frank, we all know what transpires when you go in the Atlantic and the conditions under which these people seek to make a better life for themselves. It's very, 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 very dangerous, right? And it's basically you're using a fishing vessel to cross the Atlantic or go through the Atlantic to make it up to Africa. So what we're seeing is that, ugh, and oftentimes a lot of people do not necessarily um, make it because it's very difficult. Maybe like a 2, 3, 4 days of traveling on the high seas. I'm sorry, I don't even like traveling in the dark. Much as I say I'm traveling in the dark on the waters. And it's going to be very cold out there, and that's where the storms start from. So those conditions over there can be very, very brutal.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you can go through. You can go through a litany of reasons that they could have died. Like you said, cold. I mean, it's winter.
Yeah.
Cold. Sun.
No water.
Dehydration. Yeah.
Dehydration.
Starvation.
Yeah, no food.
Disease.
We
Oh
don't
my
know how
God.
long they started the journey.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So so that's what we're seeing more and more of. Um, it's very difficult. And I think you see it comes back down to education. A lot of people in these African countries um, are willing to pay their quote unquote handlers a lot of money because a lot of them may not necessarily be properly educated on the geography, the challenges that are expected when you make these journeys. It's a similar thing when you talk about the illegal migrants who are leaving South America to make it up to the United States and make it up to the Mexican border. You have those challenges where they have to cross through jungles and cross over hills and deal with those uh, fighters in the jungles and so forth. So it's this sort of education that they don't give to migrants who want to make a better life for themselves. They will tell you, hey, Jams, I can take you up to Europe, I can take you to France. Just give me 10,000 US dollars and I'm going to take you up there. That's the only conversation that is had. And and as we were talking yesterday in the newsroom, it is this conversation that, hey, Jams, I can give me this, we'll take you there. Um, and a lot of people just decide to take all of the monies out and give it to them, not knowing that you're telling your family member, as soon as I make it to my destination, as soon as I make it to France, as soon as I make it to the United States, I'm going to give you a call, not knowing that that is the last time you will either see or hear from your family members. So that is the sort of challenge that they're not giving and properly relaying to those people who are on taking these voyages.
Yes. It's all very sad. Oh, let's
Yeah.
move. Let's move away from. Oh boy.
Sadness.
Any other stories you wanted to maybe
Can
give
you
s-
speak about that list,
yeah.
Jermaine?
Well, um, as you know, locally, we're still following some stuff out there. I'm hoping by either today or tomorrow to get a comment from Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Brown on uh, the U.S. embassy that is proposed to be over there. Um, so yes, we're hoping to get a comment from him on that. Additionally, um, on the international scene, we're still covering the plane crash, as Cortensia mentioned a little while ago in that particular story, where um, someone with St. Kitts and Nevis's roots died in that crash, as well as the continued immigration crackdown in the United States. So those are some of what we are actually following at this point in time. We're also going to be hearing from the International Monetary Fund on specifically St. Kitts and Nevis's economic position and outlook. We're also hoping to get a comment from the government sometime soon regarding the the boating incident. But one thing that we also have to take into consideration, and was probably not discussed that much, was the initiative and the amendments made yesterday in Parliament surrounding stiffening the penalties for erratic driving, as well as children not specifically wearing seatbelts and being placed in car seats. The penalties have been stiffened. I would tell anybody, there these penalties are very, very stringent, especially for those people who love to drink and drive.
This is good. I was kind of hoping. Well, I don't know if that happened later on because we carried it up to about 1:30, I think. But I don't know if they're planning to do anything about regularizing the use of the that alcohol. What do they call it? The
Breathalyzers?
breathalyzer thing? Yes. I was wondering if they have any plans to provide the training. I know they had said that there was no legislation that was
That
to ratify
that is the
that, and
first thing
so
that has to be done.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the first thing that
so
has to
I
be
don't
done.
know. I don't know if
So
that was
just for context, quickly, Jam. So one, harsher penalties for reckless driving and dangerous driving. Reckless and dangerous driving fines have been increased to 6,000 or 8,000, with repeat offenders facing up to 20,000 in fines and imprisonment. Careless driving fines have been doubled, reaching 8,000 for causing bodily injury, with repeat offenders facing up to $10,000 in fines. Driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs now carries a fine up to $10,000 for the first offense or offenses, and 20,000 for repeat offenses with no with longer term with long imprisonment term. Causing death by dangerous driving now carries a maximum penalty of 10 years, while causing death by careless driving carries up to 6 years. Technology in traffic enforcement, automated ticketing systems will be introduced to monitor speeding. and red light violations with an amendment to the ticketing section of the Act. Public reporting and incentives. A new public reporting system allows citizens to submit dash cam or other video footage of reckless driving. Courts may award up to $5,000 to individuals whose evidence leads to conviction. Anonymous provisions protecting whistleblowers. Dash cams will be duty free. And this one I think is a critical one as well. Stronger child safety measures. Child car seats will now be duty free, making them more affordable and therefore prevalent. And failure to use a child car seat according to the traffic regulations will result in a $500 fine.
Yeah, that I thought was good, but why not make it VAT free as well? I mean, I'm just
For the first
But-
inception,
but-
and then
but-
everybody
yeah.
who don't need their car seats anymore can sell them.
exactly. I imagine you'll have like a little. You'll have
Because somebody mentioned under that same thing about what if the mom doesn't have a ride, and what if her friends come to pick her up and it doesn't have the car seat. But I think the mom should have the car seat from the hospital, so she should have her baby protected going into anybody's car.
That's a good point.
But one thing we have not, and this is something that we have not talked about or mentioned, right? We're only talking about it from a car perspective. We have a lot of young moms who are also taking their children on buses. So how are we going to treat that specifically?
Oh gosh, yes. Wow. Yeah. I mean, is that going to be the usual
Baby
turn the
strapped in.
blind eye like you do with seatbelts? Because obviously,
Yeah, how does one deal with that, Jermaine? That's a great point.
That's a very good
If they
that's
not-
a
if
very
they
good
don't have
point.
cars. Well,
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
because passenger
only-
buses are equipped with seatbelts, right? But they're not used, right?
And I don't think there's any charge for not using them, at least in the passenger area,
Oh, just in the front.
just in the front. Yeah. So,
You see,
and I guess when you think about it, that's probably the reason why they don't tend to enforce the back seat passenger seatbelt thing for cars, because then it raises the question of well you have a double standard. I have to wear it, but I
but you have the
personally
same probability of going out that window if you're not secure.
yeah, but also I mean I still think that and the senator from the deputy speaker raised the point when she was speaking from Nevis. She said that she thinks that the rear seatbelt should be mandatory, and I agree
As
with her.
well.
I've always said that. Yeah.
Because you can be flung out from the back.
Yes,
Either
exactly.
through the forward windscreen or the back or the two side windows if they're open.
Yeah.
Even if they're open, because the force that you might get that in that accident with you could be flung out either way, maybe projected through the closed window and all.
I'm trying to. Oh my God! I'm trying to engage a call here, and it's oh my God! This thing is like
Jermaine?
unbelievable. Yeah. Okay.
Jermaine?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Kortensia?
Hey.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Hello, caller. Could you please? Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Good morning.
Hey, go ahead.
Good morning.
Yes, I was going to hear one thing. Just as the government passed a law about this drinking while driving, drinking on the influence, driving on the influence. Every weekend, there's about 12 bars on the strip, rum bars, alcohol bars, where they sell alcohol on the strip. And you just see everybody leave the strip 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning on the influence alcohol. There's a police station in Frigate there. I mean, every weekend everybody over there should be getting tickets. And this thing is going on for years. I don't know how serious the government is. So we don't look at it now, and we don't see if they're really serious about it. You know, if you're landing on the strip, everybody on the strip got to be drinking on the weekend time, I assume. But if they're really serious, we don't see how serious that is. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution, caller. That's a very valid point.
That's a very interesting point the
Yeah.
caller raised there.
Jermaine, I was asking because I saw a next
go ahead.
article, right, that says 13 bodies. How many bodies were really found on that?
So the article, once you see 13 bodies, sorry, Kortensia, Jamsta is fighting up over there. trying to get the callers to connect. Sorry, it's
Okay.
very funny.
Uh-huh.
So initially, the police had reported the first statement that came out that informed the media that it was 12, and then it jumped to 13, right? And then by the end of the evening, so a lot of people began reporting that, but then they updated, and even in the press statement that they sent out yesterday, it indicated that it was 19 bodies. So when you see 13, that was initial reporting
Okay.
that informed the media of the discovery.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah, but it's 19 at this point. One child and one female confirmed.
But
Oh, wow.
that caller just now raised this. So for me, there are three interesting points that need to be discussed, resolved, addressed. The breathalyzer. I'm actually. I don't know. I don't know if they did it after they came back at 2:30 yesterday. So anyone, just bear with me. I don't know. But the breathalyzer thing really needs to be regularized, because that's always been the excuse or the reason given when I asked, well, why aren't you guys using the breathalyzer? So I hope that's something that they take a look at. And Burl raises an interesting question here, and it ties back to what you were saying, German. He said, where is it? Yeah, so he was saying that basically bus drivers, it should be mandatory now for bus drivers to provide a few car seats in the buses for babies. Now, how practical is that really? Because the buses are
I
small.
wouldn't agree with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't agree with that, Jam.
And how is it
why
gonna
I
be
say I wouldn't agree with
secured?
that is
Yeah.
I don't think it's the bus's responsibility.
I
It's
agree.
the parents' responsibility to ensure that. I mean, some people have it, right? That if you're not necessarily going to be jumping on a bus, you have it to take your child down the road, or take your child to school, or even if you're going in a car. But to say for bus drivers to do that, now you want us to pay.
I
You want
agree.
me to pay $5 now to take a bus, Jamster,
I
and I
agree,
already
but
paid $3.50.
then it leaves a related problem of what do you do when you have a mother who's going onto a bus. There's really not a lot of space. Even if she has a car seat, how is that going to work? Because then you'd have to argue where you're going to anchor the car seat, and all that. So that raises that question. Let's go back to the phone line and see what. Okay, that person. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Yes, in the Win FM gym. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have some pretty big biceps by the time yeah. Okay, so we lost a call. Caller, give us a call again. Okay, here, let's try this, German. Caller, go right ahead.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
Hey,
lady.
what's up?
Good morning.
I'm good. I just don't want to take away the human element, which is the responsibility of the passenger versus the responsibility of the operator of the vehicle. Because, Jamster, if you are in a vehicle and you're a passenger and someone is operating that vehicle, even if you're getting a lift, the position for you is to make sure that you're safe also. You need to open your mouth and say to the driver, please slow down. You can do that. And 99.9% of the time, the driver will adhere to the passenger of which they are driving. And so one of the main things is that we went ahead and we put some strange and strong monetary area for people who are potentially to break the law. But at the same time, the owners must be, and the passengers also. Because lots of passengers encourage drivers to drive recklessly. Driver drive, drive on. And you know that people who encourages an act is part of that criminal activity too. You verbally encourage people to do so. And so if you have the position to verbally encourage, you have the position to verbally discourage. So to write out and put the onus on the driver, to me, that's not really acceptable so much. I know that
agree.
nobody ever get it right.
I agree.
At the same time, responsibility goes with privileges. And so that is one of my strong points in that we have to do something better than what we're doing. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes.
I think I've said enough.
Okay, let's
Thank
go
you
on
for your
to another
contribution
call.
as
Caller.
always.
Okay, we missed that one. Hopefully they'll call back. UN is saying in these parts of the world, UN lives in the UK, buses and taxis are exempt from car seats. Yeah, we know this, and Cleo said something similar as well. I guess part of the thinking there is it's impractical, and two, because of the size of the vehicle, there's a good chance that even if there's an accident, it might not be as bad as might happen with a smaller vehicle. I don't know if you guys agree.
Which is correct, right, Jamsta? But I've seen time and time again that a lot of parents, walk with their toddlers, young babies, and they jump on a bus. Now, if anything is to happen, again, the bones of the child is really, really soft.
Let's take this call. Wait, and hold that thought. Just squeeze in. Caller, go right ahead. Hang on a sec. Let me just squeeze in this. This is a good. Besides having car seats in public transportation is unsanitary, and I agree with that. Go ahead, caller.
I wonder if I understand what the last caller just said. He said 99% of the drivers just slow down, but then on the other hand, he's saying that the young people, them just tell them drive on. So he got me kind of confused. They just slow down in one breath, and in the other breath, the young people tell them drive. And you have me confused here. That's all I have to say.
Okay. On to the next. Caller, go right ahead. Okay.
No, we lost that
We
one.
missed that one, yeah. German? Yeah, German, yeah.
Jermaine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying, kids are young. It might not necessarily be a car seat per se, right? But children, especially those young ones, should be in some security harness or something, want of a better word, that will protect them when they're on these vehicles. Let's be frank, Jamsa, you're sitting in a bus and you have to hold that baby, right? If the bus does a sudden stop, the child is either jerked or the child may or may not hit his or her head on the seat. And again, these children are young. Their
Bones are soft, yeah.
Should I say brittle? But
Soft.
but their bones are soft. They're not necessarily like an older child or an adult, right? So
Caller,
that's
go
what
ahead.
I'm saying when I say go ahead.
Hello, caller.
Hi, caller, go right ahead.
Yes, I just want to give clarity to the statement that I made a while ago. The same people who said to the driver, drive on, could be the same voice that says, slow down. People can change the dynamics.
Yep.
And so therefore, if someone can encourage you to drive fast, the same person could tell you to slow down also. You don't always have to say whoosh. You could say peace. And so rather than saying drive on, tell the driver to slow down. Since the driver responds to when you tell him drive fast, he could respond to when you tell him slow down also. So that is the statement that I made. So I hope the caller will understand what I meant to say and what I was saying. And I'm not saying anything different. No contradictory in that.
Okay.
So the same one who say drive fast, the same one could say slow down.
Slow down. Yeah.
And so the onus on you, because you know that your life and your body is in danger, you could speak to the driver to slow down. Thank you very much.
Okay, on to the next. Caller, go right ahead. 933.
Yeah,
Caller.
good morning. Yeah, Johnson, I got a quick question, man. In the incident with the 4-month-old that died, right? Did all the responsibilities fall on the driver or the person who was carrying the baby? In terms of the punishment, why would they trying to punish just the driver alone? What of the person that the baby was with? I believe that responsibility should be shared, and the driver should not take all of the punishment.
But it's the driver of the
Thanks,
other
man.
vehicle that caused the accident, not the driver of the vehicle that the baby was in.
Oh, okay. Okay, got you. Thanks for the clarity. Okay, thanks.
Hi, caller. Go right ahead.
Morning, guys.
Hey, morning.
Morning.
Again, no, you know how heavy it is to walk with a car seat? Most people, if you see someone with a car seat on the bus here in America, it's because they have the baby in a stroller. Most of the time, the children are in a stroller. The baby is in a stroller, and if it's a newborn baby, you know the car seat is already attached, could come on and off with the stroller. So that's the only way you will see a baby in a car seat here on a public bus. It's because the mother uses the stroller with the car seat. Because if you're going to work every day or taking that child to the mall or someplace, that car seat is heavy to walk with. If you're not using a stroller to push it. But to the speeding, my husband told me one time, when he's home, he would drive his friend bus. And one of the passengers went and complained to the friend, I don't like how he drives. And he asked him, why you say that? This is a person who drives on highway in America every day. Why you don't like how he drives? What do you think their excuse was? He was driving too slow. So they wanted him to drive fast, and he wouldn't drive fast. So the passenger complained because he wasn't going the speed that they wanted him to do. So the caller before, when he said the passengers do encourage the drivers to drive fast, which is foolishness. Obviously, they don't consider their lives.
Absolutely.
You have a good day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break now, but let me just squeeze in these very I gotta say very good comments we had coming in there. Someone says, please ask them to fix the road area by Public Works Department going toward Sky Academy. The area there creates a lot of traffic at mornings, and the caller is correct. Ewan says, I have had to tell a driver to slow down a few years ago when I was on a bus in SK, and the driver adhered. He is correct. People have an onus to speak up and help ensure their own safety. And the thing is, self-interest rules. If you're late, if you're late, you're gonna tell the bus drivers drive faster. If you're fine, you're gonna say, oh, you don't have to drive so fast. Self-interest rules.
But driving fast if you're late is not gonna get you there early.
Exactly. Okay, let's take a quick break and come back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Okay, looks like we have a little computer problem here. Computer has frozen, so okay. Let me see what we're gonna do about this. Okay, so we're trying to get a commercial break in, but the computer has decided to freeze up. So I guess okay, here we go.
Always
color, do it differently. Buster, Buster, not an in charge like for the party. Buster, Buster, we set the pace, then everybody follow it.
7 flavors, best taste, Buster, bolder, better, better. Pick your color.
We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
Buster, live in full color.
Buster.
And hey, yeah, and we are back. German.
Yes, Jamsta.
Yeah. So that was a pretty good discussion we had. I just hope maybe someone would draw that to God's attention and concerning the breathalyzer situation, because, like I said, on various times when I brought the question up, it's always said that, well, there's no law governing or regulating the use of the ratifying the use of the breathalyzer.
But
so,
being frank, Jamsta and Kortensia, Trevor Noah always say one thing. You find a problem, you put a system in place to deal with that problem. Right now, that when you put that system in place and you realize that it patch one problem and another one come up, then you go back to Parliament and you address the other problem that comes up, right? So at least you have something in place to deal with the current issue at hand. So I think what we saw happened in Parliament yesterday is actually a good start to tackling the problem that we were facing in St. Kitts and Nevis, or are facing in St. Kitts and Nevis, the problems. It's a good start, and this discussion should continue. But my biggest problem is not passing the legislation, Jamsta. That's just the beginning of it. I think our biggest problem, and not just
no, but what my point was
right,
that if the traffic cops are going to say, well, we can't use it because there's no legal framework for using it. Obviously, for practical purposes, you spent money on that equipment and you can't use it, and this equipment goes toward making traffic safer and making pedestrians safer. So all I'm saying is, it's one of the things they need to do so that they can enhance the traffic safety regime, right?
Yeah, and I agree, but again, you can have the legislation on, but you may not be able to enforce it because or not that you can enforce it, but it's not being enforced. So the point I was making, Jams, is you have all of these legislations on the books, but for me, the problem has been over the years enforcing what is there. There's some laws that tackle these same issues, right? But again, they are not being enforced, and I think that is where the problem is.
Let's take another call, German. Caller, go right ahead. Island T.
Yes, fellas, lady. I hate to be a bother, but I hate to come back. It's going to be my last. But I just want to say this, is that because of the things that happened over the past few days, the government have to do something, and not only do something, they have to appear to be doing something for public safety, and those are very important. But we need more educational drives in terms of educating the populate, educating passengers as to their rights when they're in a passenger vehicle like a bus, and how they're being driven. They need to have space and a place where they can report. A passenger should be able to pick up the phone and dial 911 and say, if they speak to the driver and the driver failed to adhere, call 911 and say, I'm in bus P2106 and the driver is driving furiously with me, and they need to take some kind of action based on the report of the passenger when the tempo is high. The other thing is that lots of drivers drive, and I have always been told if you cannot measure it, you cannot control it. And people have to know that things they cannot measure, they cannot control. The thing is, when you are driving behind of a vehicle and you have intention to pass the vehicle ahead of you, you have to make sure that you have clearance, because knowing all the responsibility is on you once you overtake that vehicle ahead of you. You have to make sure that there is no turn off on the right, because the vehicle ahead of you have a right to turn even without indicating to you that they're going to turn. And if you crash into the side of the vehicle while it's turning, the responsibility is yours. The other thing is you have to make sure that you have adequate space so that when you accelerate your vehicle, you pass the vehicle before you reach an incoming vehicle to you, or you reach a corner. And so you make sure that there is no two vehicles that are ahead of you, so you have to use more speed, because if you travel 30 miles an hour, trust me, you'll have to go up to about 50 miles an hour to pass it with the timing that you have to get up there. The other thing is that failing to do all of this, if you overtake, if you see that you're going to have to pass this vehicle and you're going to be in a corner, don't overtake. If you're not sure that the vehicle will be coming towards you before you pass this vehicle, don't overtake. It's a judgment call, and it must be done with proper calculation. You must know what you're doing while you sit behind the wheel. This is no joke. This is serious things. People's lives are at stake. And so when the government of the day decide and see that these things are happening recklessly and carelessly, negligence, they're going to put something in place, even though it might not work. They have to do something. They have to try a thing, and to make sure that people stay safe. So I'm not angry with them because they do that, even though I think in my mind that the penalty are somewhat rather harsh. Because the people who commit these offences can't afford to pay these fines. They can't even afford to throw gas in the car and money to pay these fines. And so you have to have things to slow them down rather than putting penalties. One of the main things that you could do is put the uniform in place. If it's in place, somebody will slow down. If you don't know one is up there, he will slow down. I think I've said enough for the day. Have a good day, Jamsta.
Okay, you too.
Thank you.
Okay.
But if you know you can't pay the fines, why would you put yourself in a position to be fined? This is the whole thing. So we have to slow down. Because if I know I can't afford something, why putting myself out there to get in trouble to have to pay somebody when I know I can't afford it? We can't. I don't think we should make that sort of excuse that yes, the fines are high. Yes, people can't afford this, but that shouldn't be an excuse. People should adhere and listen. As kids growing up, we got licks for doing things wrong. I'm sure some of us didn't do it again. That's why some of us have not ended up in bad situations, because we learn from the lashes and the licks. So, I mean, this is like licks. This is a lot of money. You know you can't afford it. Don't be in the ban when you can't afford it. Don't be driving fast. It doesn't make sense.
I think to the caller's point, I think one of those things that he mentioned will be addressed when the traffic department is finished and they're able to build out like a 24-hour schedule, which would mean hopefully having squad cars patrolling hotspots regularly and around the clock. So we look for that. The other thing is, a friend. I was just telling a friend here on WhatsApp. She helped me. She helped remind me of something. Mark Brantley was saying yesterday. He did a good job, I thought, Jermaine, of pointing out some inconsistencies and seeming maybe contradictions is a strong word, but yes, some inconsistencies in the law, especially some of the older laws where he thought that some of the things didn't really jibe as far as maybe the punishment fitting the crime vis-a-vis another related crime which you might say is more serious or less serious. And he did a good job of pointing out that yesterday. So I hope Jermaine and them go through the proceedings yesterday and maybe do a story around that. I thought he did a good job on pointing out some of those.
Yes, he did. He did. But quickly, James, before I leave, I think the law itself was put in place to ensure that to act as a deterrent, as Kortensia was alluding to act as a deterrent, not necessarily to say, realistically, nobody can be able to pay a $10,000 fine or 20,000. Ordinary man can't do that. But the reason why it was put in place is to say, listen, this is what the penalty is if you decide to drink and drive, right? We've been seeing it, and as one of the callers said earlier, it is something that transpires on a Friday night on the strip. So then it simply means that for all the people who like to go on the strip and drink and then drive and go all the way to Sandy Point or St. Paul's, designated driver. This has been the running topic all across the world. Have a designated driver. That is all the police have been saying. We send you to stop going to your parties.
I don't know if you realize that was one of the most
vets and so forth. Let's be frank, Jamsta. I've seen people.
No, I was saying, I don't know if you realize that was one of the most important comments made this morning. That caller who called about the policing or non-policing of people leaving the strip on the weekend. That caller made a very, very, very good point.
Yeah, and that is true. But I'll say this before I go, Jamsta. I do believe that this is a step in the right direction in terms of clamping down on the particular issues that we've been seeing over the last year. More than 6,000 accidents or something like that recorded last year, or 1,500 or thereabout. No, 6,000 plus tickets and just over 1,700 accidents, I believe. My numbers are off this morning.
Oh my God!
Yes,
if we had 6,000 accidents, we'd have to ban cars.
We'd have to ban cars, right? Yeah, 6,000 plus tickets and over 1,700 accidents. Is something that we have been trying to clamp down on. So this is a step in the right direction, and I do hope. Yes, we have problems in terms of paying the fees, but realistically, it is not meant for people to pay the fees, but rather as a deterrent. But if you breach the law, then realistically, you are going to have to face that particular penalty. But it was good being in your company, Jamsta, and joining you and Kortensia this morning. So do enjoy the rest of your day. So to St. Kitts and Nevis as well.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to shut it down now, actually, because we have Heritage Matters edition of Voices today. Percy Hanley will be hosting. He's the head of the Brimstone Hill Society, and he's also attached to the National Trust and so on. So we're gonna wait. So that's gonna be alternating every Friday with the Creative Voices.
Okay.
Yeah. So Percy Hanley should be showing up here at any moment, 10 to 12. Like I said, Heritage. Because by the way, next month, starting tomorrow, it's, as you know, it's what do they call it, Heritage and History Month.
Isn't it Black History Month?
Well, it's Black History Month in the U.S. But here, I think they call it Heritage and History Month. Yeah.
So maybe today.
Yeah.
I can't promise that I'll get to listen because I have to go do some runs, but you could keep me informed, or I'll try to listen
for
after
sure.
so we could know what it is.
Yeah, so
we can join in on the celebration and the awareness.
So Percy should be joining us. So that's going to be starting at 10 or thereabouts. All right. So he's hoping you have a great day and a great weekend.
You too. Don't work too hard.
I won't.
Alrighty.
All right. See ya.
Oh, I've got this feeling to high five the sun, dance in the rain, and have my